Hi, David McConaughey here from DMC Fitness in Glasgow, Scotland, and today we're going to look at an exercise that's called the porn star. It's a dumbbell external and internal rotation, single arm. Well, it's traditionally done on a bench. Maybe don't have a bench. I like doing it this way, so I'm going to work on this left hand side for my body. So I've got my foot anchored in here. In this position, I'm going to take the dumbbell, I'm resting the elbow on my knee and I'm looking across. I don't want to look into the way I'm externally rotating, and then I'm going to let the dumbbell internally rotate. So I'm doing an internal and an external rotation. I want to focus on the negative. So the eccentric part of the muscle contraction, which is the downward portion, and I'm going to focus on a 3 to 5 second negative. Come into that bottom position, externally rotate the shoulder, squeeze at the top, connecting all those muscles down the left side body, allowing the shoulder to internally rotate through its own level of mobility, and then open up again. So I'm going to do 15 of these. I'm going to swap sides. I really like doing this in front of the mirror because it allows you to check the technique and make sure that you're doing everything correctly. Again, I'm focusing on that downward part of the movement, making sure it goes a bit slower. One more. Good. So, 15 on each side. What we're going to do now is we're going to bring the repetition down and the load's increased. Okay? So I'm going to go for 12 reps and I'm not going to overly focus on the negative part of the motion. I'm just going to work through the normal tempo. We're really gripping the dumbbell as well, squeezing the dumbbell as hard as I can. And really focusing on connecting and creating as much of a contraction down the side of the body that I'm working. So we're done. 12 on the opposite side. So a point of filming, my right arm is needing a wee bit more work than my left. There's a bit of an imbalance in there, which I'm correcting at the moment, and a definite difference in strength when it comes to this specific movement, especially as the dumbbells get a bit heavier. Okay, so I'm going to take a wee rest. Breath back. I'll leave my shoulders to relax a wee bit. I'm just focusing on a breathing technique, I'm breathing some sort of diaphragmatic breathing. You might as well rest up. And now we move into 10 reps. So I know this is getting to my maximum on this right arm at the moment. I'm going to cut this straight in two. Give my shoulder a wee bit of rest. I had an injury earlier on this year and doing too much volume, not enough rest, which is classic theory. And I've been through quite an intensive rehabilitation process, which is cultivating and this is progress. This is a big progress for me on this side compared to how it was earlier on this year. So, let me rest, and then we finish. On a 5 kilo dumbbell. For my left arm, my right arm's had enough just now. recovery up. Okay, so okay, so 10, my left arm, and because I've done 10 and I've done 10 quite comfortably, actually that load isn't high enough for me on that left arm. I should be using a 6, potentially using a 7, working towards being able to do 10 repetitions with the correct tempo, repetition cadence, and then moving up the loads so we get more progress. Now, based on fatigue and how my shoulder's feeling, I'm going to continue to work on this right side. I'm going to drop the load. So I want 10 repetitions here, but I've moved back down to the 3 kilo dumbbell, purely on how it's been feeling, and so that I can still get volume. That's why it's important to do unilateral training, single limb work, because you find out where your imbalances are, and then that means that you can program the corrections in over time to improve those imbalances or even better them. I'm starting to fatigue now, so I'm just going to come at that set. So that's knee supported, dumbbell internal, external rotations. The industry's given it the name porn star, dumbbell porn stars. Dave McConaughey from DMC Fitness in Glasgow.